Okay, I wanted to share some stuff with y'all. Before I do, look at this. Look at that. Horses over there. Horses over there. Horses everywhere. So I wanted to share with y'all. I had a therapy session yesterday, and the stuff he said, I was like, oh my god. This is when I've been doing EMDR and like it's actually one of the best psychologists, whatever, I've ever met. And he speaks English, and he used to like do EMDR in refugee camps, and he's been doing this stuff for like decades before it was a thing. I feel like he's like Yoda, you know what I mean? Very rarely that I trust men with my care. But anyway, two things. One, he was like, okay, your new focus should be rest and joy. And I'm like, now, okay, I knew exactly what he was talking about. Now, part of me is like, what do you mean joy? I have joy in everything I do. Sorry, y'all, my eyes are really sensitive, so I'm just going to wear these sunglasses. More horses. Okay, there's a horse. Did you hear that? The donkey going, anyway. Oh my God, look, some black bear. No, Lucky, bien. Okay. He's like, okay, I've talked about this before, but like, I have fun in like everything I do, more or less. I have fun, but I don't let myself experience joy very much. So for instance, our friend came up and stayed the other night just for the day. She's out here on the veranda or whatever, reading a book. And I'm like, God, how does she do that? I see Anthony. Anthony's really good at relaxing. And like, he doesn't have this like, I need to work all the time. Now, part of this is like this American conditioning of like, and especially being a freelancer and especially a content creator. I'm not a content creator, I'm a writer and all that. I hate that word. It's content, but it's art. Anyway, so those days, other than when I was literally paddleboarding or at dinner with Anthony or something, the whole time I was still working. Even if I wasn't posting, I'm still researching. I never stop. Y'all, I have like 50 videos backed up of things I've researched but haven't had the time to record. And as part of this, because I'm curious and I love to learn and all that stuff. And part of it is there's no boundaries around my work. And I'm always like it's so funny because I have so many stories. I have endless stories. And then the news is so much. There's always something happening in the news. You know, like I have a whole Simone Biles, Michaela whatever thing researched. Michaela, bleh. Anyway, you know, whatever. I have it all researched. I have it highlighted, but it's in my phone among like 50 other videos that I have researched and ready to go, but I don't have the time to make the videos. Like my strategy towards work, it really needs to change. It's like, so I just follow, it's too like improvised and I just lose so much time. But it's not even about that. I keep blaming it on the job itself. And one of the reasons why I started Patreon is so that I could not be forced to do this every single day and never take a day off. But when I'm on my day off, I'm like, Patreons are mad at me. You know, I should do something. So the whole time I was in this beautiful Annecy, this beautiful place. This is a little masochist that like doesn't know how to rest. I don't know how to rest. Even in bed, I'm still it's like I was getting better about it, and now I've kind of fallen back into like being on my phone in bed, researching until the minute I fall asleep. I'm not like a reporter for the New York Times. I'm not like in my PhD. I'm literally just doing this myself. So he called me out on that, is I don't rest. I don't prioritize rest. I just literally watching Anthony or my friends read books. I'm like, I don't read books. I read articles because articles are stories. But everything I read is to serve something else. Everything I do is to share. Even when I go to the most beautiful places, I feel like I can't be there without sharing it. And not in this like, oh, for attention thing. And you pay me, that's part of it. But part of it's also my job. But also like, I don't ever, other than drum club, I don't do anything just for me for fun. Everything is about sharing. I just really need some boundaries around that because I love to share. I really do. But he was like, you because everything, even when you're having fun, you share all of it, you're still working. I'm like, yeah, but that's what I told people that did. Anyway, so Joy and he also was like, a lot of people look up to you, and how your healing journey. And if you really cared about them, you would prioritize rest and joy. And I was like, oh, dang it. He's using my codependency against me. Anytime I won't do something for myself, if I'm like, oh, you're right, this is going to impact other people, then maybe I'll change. So anyway, he was like, this is like a really next hard step for you is learning how to rest and let yourself experience joy. I know how to have fun, but just really like joy for the sake of joy, not, you know what I mean? Anyway, it's just joyful eating these blackberries. The other thing that he told me about, he was like, by the way, he's like, what, do you think maybe that you struggle with French because, oh, here's some shade, I can take my glasses off now. Because that way you can just be the American woman in France rather than fully be here. Basically, he's like, I don't think you're doing this consciously. It's totally subconsciously. Now, the fact that I'm married at all is a miracle. I am a flight risk. It's not that I'm afraid of commitment. I commit to things, but I don't like to feel trapped. And so I don't feel trapped in my marriage, obviously. I wanted to get married. I love being married. I love Anthony. I love our life together. And yet there's something about like fully immersing myself in the language and like if there's a level of commitment, I have no back door. I do, but he was like, look, he knows me so well. He knows me so well. And I was like, because I can't figure out what this block is. Yes, I have ADHD and it makes testing really hard. I failed that test. But like there's something in me that like stops me from, like, I want to learn so bad. I want to learn so bad, but there's so much shame. There's all of these like, I mean, I've talked about this so much with y'all. You're probably tired. I'm sorry if you are. But it's like so much of my issues, so much of like the childhood trauma stuff is really tied to language. He was like, you are a master of language. This is your job. You do it for a living. You've been doing it for forever before it was your job. You're so good at language. There's no reason why you can't speak French. And he's right. It's literally like I have no plan to go back to the U.S., but something about like, and I do believe it's important for me to be able to speak my language in our house because we're in France and blah, blah, blah. Like part of it is egalitarian or, just like it's a connection to home, but fully immersing myself, fully being here. I never just was like, I'm going to move here. I was like, I'm going to move here and try it out. And I just kept staying. And the other thing is that my French was going like this. First year and a half, 2 years here until I met Anthony. And I blame it on his English being perfect, and that's part of it. But he was like, you've always been on your own. You've never counted on anybody. You like to have a back door so that you can exit at any time. And you're fully committed in every other way, but language gives you the back door. Because before, language is about being independent. Do you speak enough to be able to survive here? To really immerse yourself into your family, to the idea of staying long term. Language is key to that. And that, I think, is the block. And I was like, oh my God. Sometimes you just got to name it to be able to deal with it. So these make sense now. Does this make sense to y'all? I don't know. Because here's the thing, y'all. Sorry, I found some more berries. Look at that, fresh berries. See, old Melanie would pass right by these and be like, you don't have time to eat berries. And I swear, you have to be so intentional about being in the present. Anyway, he was like, also just, you know that 65% of French words or English words are the same. Sometimes they're spelled a little differently, but they're the same. 65%. And I was like, yeah, I know, I heard that. Anyway, I don't know. I just need somebody to call me on my crap like that. Like someone to just be like, could it be this thing? And I'm like, yes. Now that doesn't mean that it is also. I mean, like test taking is so stressful, y'all. Like I've always done bad at tests because it's the test, not the material. That's the issue. And also the way they tested for this last one, it was like they read it once and then they read, even if this test had been in English, even Anthony did some practice tests with me online. He was like, I don't know because the questions are confusing. But anyway, so there's all these factors, but the resistance, the block inside of me is, yeah, like I don't plan on leaving here. Like I, in my mind, have no plan on leaving here. In my heart, my soul, I have no plan on leaving here. But that subconscious really does run the show. And there's something stopping me from fully buying in. I have French friends, I have a French husband, I have a French family. I've been here 6 years. I've done all the paperwork. I fully commit, but there's something that was holding back with the language, and I had so much shame around the fact that I'm not. It's so important to me to learn language. It would make my life so much easier. It's not that I don't know the language. It's just there's something stopping me, and I was like, that's what it is. That's what it is. Not having the back door. Again, now, like I've said before in some other videos, like just picking up and going back to the U.S. would not be something either, with Anthony or even alone if I decided that I need to be alone again, which I don't see that happening. Even going back would be crazy. It'd be so difficult because I don't even know where I would go. I've been gone 7 years. And New York is the longest I've lived anywhere. Like, I don't even know where I would go. I wouldn't go, but it's the idea of being able to cut and run. You can take the girl out of her truck, but you can't take the truck out of the girl. The truck mentality. I talked about this the other day. There's something about being able to just leave. Being able to leave at any point, not being too fully bought in, too fully committed to a place. And learning French would force me to, not force me, but it would give me so much, but I couldn't figure out what was standing in the way. I want to learn it so bad with my heart, and it's my fear. It's my fear. Fear of being trapped. Fear of being trapped. Not afraid of commitment. I used to think I was afraid of commitment. There's another blackberry. I'm not afraid of commitment. I've committed to my friends, my life, my craft. I've committed to so many things. It's fear of being trapped. Oh, look, hold on. There they are. Anyway, does this make sense? I don't know if I've articulated. I wish I could just repeat what he said. I actually took notes. I wrote down because I was like, I'm going to forget this. Oh, look. There they are, right there. Anyway, thanks for listening. Let me know what else y'all want. I feel like I'm not doing enough. And maybe I'm not. I'm open to the idea that I'm not doing enough, obviously. But am I doing enough? Something y'all want more of, less of? Anyway. Okay, sorry, I'm distracted by these horses. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye. Oh look, nursing, horsey.